So when we were doing our film before on the trimming of the raspberries and thinning them out, I mentioned that it's springtime, we need to put some dormant oil on them, some dormant spray. Dormant is just that. They haven't come quite out in bud yet, they're not in leaf. What it does is it kills overwintering insects and disease. Sometimes when we have raspberries, they'll get a white mildew on them, and I found that this is quite effective on eliminating that white mildew, especially if you have a damp year. So what we have to do, we've got about 6 liters of water in our sprayer, which means I have to measure out the appropriate amount, and the instructions say 120 mils, so that's about what I'm going to use. And if it's not perfect, I don't suppose it matters a whole lot. Put that in there. And this is garden sulfur. Garden sulfur. Turn that off, I'm having trouble. Alright. I was having a bit of a problem getting the lid off. It's been a while. So we're going to put the garden sulfur into the water again. It's been pre-measured, so if you're doing this, just read the instructions. It's really pretty simple. I'm not going to worry if I have not quite enough garden sulfur, because the main thing with garden sulfur is that it makes you smell like rotten eggs. So it's really quite lovely if you like rotten eggs. Oh, that stinks. So I've got this tightened up. Now I have to pump it, pressurize it, and we'll be back when I'm ready to spray. I generously allowed my wife to get upwind of the garden sulfur mineral oil dormant spray. So you can see how we've thinned these out quite a bit, and I know what you're thinking. Compared to what they looked like before on our other raspberries, they look kind of pathetic right now. Understand that these are all going to bush out, 8 or 10 inches. So this will actually fill into a solid wall later on. What this does is it makes it easier for us to weed, gives a clear path for the new growth to grow up, and all of the energy grow from the roots goes into these stalks and not into all the small ones. So we'll have bigger berries. So, there we go. We've got lots of pressure. And I just spray these like that. And I just generally do it a little bit from each side. And you don't have to get a whole lot on, because the oil will creep. So I'm trying to stay out of the path of it too. And this just kills any overwintering insects and disease. Fungus and mold and things that we really don't want on our raspberries. You can also use this on cherry trees, plum trees, apple trees. So any kind of fruit with a woody stem. And that's all it is. And we've used about 1.5 liters. Didn't take too long. I don't think that was even 5 minutes. So that's all it is. And hopefully now we'll have some nice healthy berries come up, some good strong canes. I've tried to leave nice robust canes, or the most robust that we have of this type, which again is an ever-bearing variety. We're big on that. We like a little bit of fruit in the fall. And it's nice to have fresh fruit. Fresh fruit is typically the most expensive thing that you're going to buy at the store. much more expensive probably per unit than anything else. So if you can have some nice fresh fruit, doesn't take too long. My wife and I did probably 120 feet of raspberries, thinning out, disposing of the canes in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. This is going to take another 10 minutes, and we're ready to go for the season.